Good morning. I'm Jim Bean, and I have the honor to serve as Provost of Northeastern University. I want to thank you and welcome you. Thank you for being here to celebrate this milestone for Northeastern. We're pleased to be joined by so many friends from the university community and our larger Boston community, as well as guests from academia, industry, and government. We're especially grateful to have our Mayor, Marty Walsh, Congressman Joe Kennedy, Senator Ed Markey, and Senator Elizabeth Warren, and the Director of the National Science Foundation, Dr. France Cordova. We're also thrilled to be joined by Dr. Roderick Pettigrew, Director of the National Institute of Biomedical Imaging and Bioengineering at NIH, who will moderate a panel later in the day regarding the future of interdisciplinary research. In formally opening the Interdisciplinary Science and Engineering Complex, we must first acknowledge the architects Payette for their achievement in designing this magnificent space. It is a work of innovation that will foster innovation. It will mature the kinds of faculty interactions that are essential to interdisciplinary research, advancing extraordinary work that is already taking place across Northeastern. Over the past 10 years, Northeastern's federal research funding has more than doubled and now exceeds $130 million per year. We've added 565 new tenured and tenure-track faculty in disciplines tied directly to our research goals. And this past year, the university was elevated to Research 1 by Carnegie Classifications, bringing it to the ranks of the nation's premier research institutions. Those gains have been achieved in large part by Northeastern's strategic emphasis on use-inspired research to address challenges in three realms critical to global well-being for the 21st century: health, security, and sustainability. ISEC will accelerate Northeastern's momentum, particularly in those areas of discovery where we are most likely to achieve eminence. It will provide the state-of-the-art infrastructure for transformative research and learning, and it will enable the kind of faculty integration around grand challenges that energizes creative thinking. We have a full, you could say, interdisciplinary program today that will illustrate exactly what I'm talking about. Following Dr. Cordova's remarks, we will have the ribbon cutting. After a short break, several of our faculty members will present on some dynamic research directions in drug discovery, cyber and physical security, coastal sustainability, and global resilience. Our symposium, featuring a panel of experts from government, industry, and academia, will seek to unpack the challenges and opportunities facing interdisciplinary research, often a goal for big research institutions, but one not easily attained. We also have faculty and students stationed around the atrium to tell you about some of their research and to show off some amazing robots. I would like to introduce one of our outstanding students, Jacqueline Locke, who is working on her PhD in bioengineering program, which is moving into this building as we speak. We're so pleased that she can represent the student perspective. Jacqueline?
Thank you for that kind introduction. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the new Interdisciplinary Science and Engineering Complex. It's my privilege to represent the students of Northeastern University in today's opening ceremony. I want to first thank President Aoun, Provost Bean, faculty and staff for making this new complex a reality. I would also like to thank all the distinguished guests for joining the Northeastern community today. We are here to recognize not just the opening of this complex, but what it stands for, what it symbolizes. This facility is Northeastern's commitment to the advancement of science and engineering through collaboration across disciplines. Science is unique in that it is progressive, self-correcting, and collaborative. Experience has taught me that advances in science and engineering are built incrementally in small steps. These advances are not only determined by their immediate results, but how they shape our society. Like many of you, I've been fortunate to have many positive experiences on campus, from the remarkable mentorship and guidance by Northeastern's nurturing faculty to the free ice cream Wednesdays on hot summer days. Currently, I'm completing my PhD in bioengineering under the mentorship of Dr. Rebecca Carrier, who will be speaking in another session later this morning. Over the past 4 years, I studied the importance of mucus. Yes, you heard me correctly, mucus. Within the gastrointestinal tract, mucus acts as a natural barrier to toxins and pathogens while selectively controlling the diffusion of essential nutrients. I've been exploring how the foods we eat, including those many free flavors of ice cream, alters the natural integrity of this natural barrier, which may affect our health. There have been many successful moments in my academic career. I'm a National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellow, a mentor to undergraduates, and, of course, a researcher. My path up to this point, however, hasn't always been straightforward. I started my undergraduate career at Carnegie Mellon University as a biology major, a subject well within my comfort zone. After collaborating with many peers who were chemists, mechanical and chemical and material engineers, I realized the impact I could have on biology by adding engineering ideas and tools to my skill set. So for all you high school students or undergraduates or even graduate students who haven't found your niche, take it from me. Don't stay confined within the lines, challenge the status quo. I was drawn to Northeastern because of its strong academic training and research programs. Here, I'm now able to build upon the foundation of my interdisciplinary research. In my own PhD work on the gooey mucus, I collaborate with mentors and peers across disciplines, ranging from microbiologists in the Lewis Lab here at Northeastern, who are experts on the microbiome, to the Griffith Lab at MIT, who are experts on fabricating organ-on-a-chip microfluidics. I believe that our collaboration has helped us to develop new skills and insights, allowing us to effectively communicate and share ideas. And as scientists and engineers, we are constantly looking for new ways to interact with and assist others through a spirit of commitment and understanding I believe is hallmark of interdisciplinary research. Now, let's take a look around this grand structure. This was built to empower us with the resources, the people, and the knowledge to solve grand challenges. For us, it represents the best of all worlds. I know this new complex will not only advance my research, but our research as a community. Together, we can and we will make new and meaningful advances, and I urge each one of you to take advantage of this unique opportunity. Thank you. Next, I'm delighted to introduce Congressman Joe Kennedy.
Excuse me. Good morning, everybody. Jacqueline, very well done. And I appreciate you bringing up the piece about organ-on-a-chip microfluidics. Certainly something that I must have skipped that lecture when I was in college. I'm certain the House of Representatives, a bastion of, as you said, progressivism, self-correction, and collaboration, will be taking up that hearing momentarily. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for being here for an extraordinary day. To my colleagues in the Senate, Senators Warren, Senator Markey, it is always an honor for me to share a stage with you. I can't remember the last time we were all gathered together without the use of a bullhorn and a winter coat, but this is a very nice change of pace. Mr. President, walking around this campus, as I have had the opportunity to do over the past several years, it is obvious that your students not only respect you, but they admire your vision for the university. They trust the decisions that you have made, that they are guided by an unwavering commitment to their future. Congratulations on a very special day. And this building is a fitting testament to that vision, because within the state-of-the-art architecture is a community where students will grow and where boundaries will be pushed. Building on Northeastern's innovative approach to education, this complex creates learning opportunities that will exist only on this campus, but whose impacts will be felt far from it. Research carried out on these 6 floors will save lives across our country and around the world. And the technology developed on the 5th floor will literally be felt outside of our own atmosphere. So when I say that I am proud to be a partner in your efforts, what I really mean is please invite me back so I can hang out in your research labs. Folks, I have had the extraordinary honor to fill a position on the House Energy and Commerce Committee, the committee that leads the way on healthcare, on innovation, on technology. And my colleagues still, to this day, continue to refer to it as the Congressman Markey seat on that committee. The number of times that I hear about things that our now senator has done, and the wistful look I get in my colleague's eye of the great days of Ed Markey on this committee. One day, maybe I will live up to them. Senator, pleased to be with you. Senator Ed Markey.
Thank you, Joe, so much. And I thank all of you for having me here today. And it is a great honor to have been introduced by Joe Kennedy, because most of us had our gaze lifted to the constellation of possibilities for ourselves, for our country, and for our world by the Kennedy family. And Joe Kennedy is the pluperfect embodiment of this incredible legacy which we have, and the future is only brighter because of his great leadership in the United States Congress. So I thank you, Joe, for... And to you, Joe Aoun, thank you for, once again, showing that great leadership produces great results. And that's what this building, and that's what everything that Northeastern University represents is all about. It's an embodiment of your vision, of Jim Bean, of all of you here today, all of the great work which you do, all of your outstanding leadership and innovation is seen here today. And to have the head of the National Science Foundation here today, Dr. Cordova, is just so great to see you. You are the embodiment of what we need more of in this world of science, more diversity, more women, more minorities, and you are the perfect leader for this time for science in our country. And partnering with the National Science Foundation and similar federal agencies has led to this explosion of growth for Northeastern, helping to establish this school as an internationally recognized research university. And a great round of applause to Jacqueline Locke for your great leadership. All of us up here, thank you for sharing your inspiring words and reminding us that great universities start with great students, and Northeastern has some of the best students in the world who will be doing their research right here in this building. And it is an honor to be here at the opening of this historic complex that promises to be the hub of scientific breakthroughs and innovative engineering for years to come. When my mother was disappointed in me when I was a boy, or 10 or 11 years of age, in Malden, she would just look at me and say, Eddie, I'm going to donate your brain to science as a completely unused human organ. And this building would be just the perfect place for all of the multidisciplinary research that could be done. You are going to help to create the 21st century infrastructure for our country: renewable energy, transportation, telecommunications, health systems, climate change, coastal sustainability, cyber security. It's all going to be housed right here in one building. The building will be home to groundbreaking technological breakthroughs in robotics, like the Valkyrie robot that debuted last year. Valkyrie aims to play a key role in future deep space exploration and could be sent to Mars as part of our research there. Because of Northeastern's excellence, that galaxy far, far away is only as far as the Ruggles T station. That is what will be made possible here. And I am the senior Democrat on the Science and Space Subcommittee in the United States Senate. And I'm looking forward to working with the senior Republican, the chairman of that committee, Ted Cruz, in ensuring that there is full funding for all of these science projects. Our interstellar aspirations will be housed in this interdisciplinary institution, given life not just to artificial intelligence, but also to innovations in chemistry and bioengineering and cybersecurity. And all of this is focused on the great challenges that face us: security and sustainability and health. The progress made here at this complex will give birth to innovation that is good for all of creation. This beautiful new building represents more than just investing in research. It is a monument to Northeastern's enduring commitment to its students and their future, and also to the future of humankind. Part of what makes Northeastern so special is that it works to ensure students are prepared to join the 21st century workforce when they graduate. I have seen this firsthand with Northeastern's world-renowned co-op program for undergraduates. I am fortunate to have had many of those co-op interns work in both of my Boston and Washington offices, including pre-med neuroscience majors, political science, international relations students, and a U.S. Army veteran who was recently hired by Raytheon. That is what Northeastern University is all about: programs that prepare our best and brightest for the jobs of our vibrant innovation economy, the high-tech, clean-tech, biotech industries of the 21st century. And this new complex will be a gleaming way station where students can punch their passport to the jobs of the future and prepare themselves to join the workforce after graduation. In a world where ideas can fly across the world at the speed of Snapchat, it's the people who know how to work together, who know how to communicate and operate across disciplines and with technology that make real change happen in this world. There is no one better at training these 21st century leaders than Northeastern University. As Charles Dickens said, it is the best of times, it is the worst of times. It is the best of times here at Northeastern University in this era of science and technology explosiveness. And it's the worst of times as there is a targeting of the budgets of science and technology down in Washington. And so it will be our job to be the advocates. It will be our job to make sure that the future is given all of the representation which it deserves, because that is what Northeastern University is all about. Research is the field of dreams for the future that gives hope to every generation that there will be breakthroughs that the past could never have imagined. And so Northeastern University, this is a great day. We celebrate it with you, and we have with us the great leader of this city of Boston, the hub of science and technology for the United States and the world, the great mayor of the city of Boston, Mayor Marty Walsh.
Thank you very much, Senator. And I had a chance last week to be down in Washington, and I had a chance to sit in Senator Markey's office, and we had a nice chat and about life. And my mother probably could say the same thing as well as your mother did. So Thank you. President Aoun, thank you for having us today. This is exciting to be here this morning. I want to also thank Jacqueline. Read about your bio. Thank you for what you do as well. Provost Bean, thank you as well for your great work. Senators, obviously, Markey and Warren, thank you for everything, your advocacy for us here in Massachusetts. Congressman Kennedy, thank you very much as well. And I know we're joined by other members of the state legislature who have, obviously, it's very close to my heart. We're actually sitting in State Representative Jeffrey Sanchez's district. Is this your district? Yeah. Oh, whose is it? Is Russell's? Whose district is it? Who? Oh, Byron. Okay, sorry. Well, redistricting is coming. Jeffrey Sanchez might be the state representative here next time. I want to thank you. I know State Representative Russell Holmes is here. I want to thank you, Representative Holmes. Right here, Representative, thank you very much. We also have City Councilor Nisa Asabi George, who's here. I want to thank City Councilor George as well, and John Barrows, Chief of Economic Development, is here as well. And a special welcome as well as Senator Markey said to Dr. Cardova for being here with us this morning. Thank you very much. The groundbreaking for this complex happened in February of 2014. It was one of the first that I did as mayor of the city of Boston. We actually did it on the next door on the parking garage. It was exciting. It offered me a window into the power of research and higher education, which is going to take our city to new heights. But I realized that Boston was only just beginning to reach its potential as a global city back then. It inspired me to push our city further in other directions. We continue to grow our economy here in the city and to attract talent and to elevate our standings on a world stage. And many of the young people that are going to be educated in this very building are the exact people that we want to keep here in the city of Boston because of their minds, because of their passion. The vision of this complex is ready to come through today. It brings scientists from all over the world here, across borders, across disciplines, to make vital discoveries, to teach and inspire students to connect our communities here in Roxbury, the South End, and Fenway. I can only imagine what it's going to be like for a middle school student or a high school student to explore these spaces in their city during summer programs. And Northeastern does some incredible reaching out to our communities, our young people, getting them on campus. Oftentimes they'll hold events, and as I walked into this building today, I've driven by it many times as it was being built, but I walked into the space and it's an awe-inspiring space here. I urge developers in our city to shoot for this world-class design, to match our world-class innovation in our city. Oftentimes, when you think about innovation and stunning spaces, our universities lead the way. Certainly in this case, it's attractive, it's green, it's innovative. Dr. Cardova is going to speak soon. Her presence here today already speaks volumes. I want to thank her, along with President Aoun, for inviting her today. We're going to hear more about some incredible experiences. I just want to remind us two things. One, she's foreign born, and a Latina, and a woman. And B, she heads up an agency that's responsible for much of America's progress in computer science and many other fields, and has shaped our world and built our modern city. The partnership between the NSF and major research universities like Northeastern and private industries are vital to Boston's economy and certainly to our national global progress. On days like today, we celebrate partnerships and we celebrate tremendous federal investments in research. It's the key to solving the hardest challenges. So I want to congratulate Northeastern University on this beautiful facility. And I look forward to generations of new discoveries and new scientists emerging from these walls. And when I talk about investment on the federal level, we have an unbelievable delegation here in Massachusetts. Over the last few months, we've been hearing and seeing a lot of things coming out of Washington, D.C. And some of it's on immigration. And as you know in this room, or if you don't know in this room, the scientists that will walk through these doors come from all over the world. We have to make sure that continues to happen. The funding that goes into these halls and these walls, it just doesn't happen. It comes from the federal government. We have to make sure that continues to happen. We have to make sure that when we look at healthcare bills and the changes that those bills are going to have on our hospitals, and here in Boston, we have world-class hospitals, obviously, as you know. And we have a world-class university right here in many of them, but today we're talking about this one, who's working with our hospitals hand in hand. So we need champions to continue to push the envelope. And sometimes when you're a champion, you take criticism. And you take criticism, and sometimes the criticism comes from the wrong places. But we have two United States senators, but I get to introduce one of those United States senators who pushes the envelope. And we need her to continue to push the envelope, because what's on the other side of the envelope is what happens in this space. As Senator Markey talked about, working on his committee with Senator Cruz, making sure that money continues to flow. Look around this building. This is a beautiful building. But what's really beautiful about this building are the young minds that are going to walk through all these doors every single day. And they're going to go on to do incredible things. And they're going to be able to say they did those incredible things because they had a great university in the city of Boston that supported them. They had great professors that came in and taught them. And they had a great delegation that came and fought to make sure we continue to get the funding that we need to move those programs forward. And one of our biggest champions is the next speaker who's coming to this podium, the senior senator from Massachusetts, Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the introduction, Mr. Mayor. It is so good to be here. Congressman Kennedy, Senator Markey, it is good to be here with you, Dr. Cordova, and Mr. President. But most of all, it is good to be here with all of you. It is good to be here in Massachusetts. You know, I am very proud to be from Massachusetts, but when I go down to Washington, I am really proud to be from Massachusetts. And in fact, I spend a lot of time down in Washington now. That's my job. I just want to say something that is pretty deeply controversial down in Washington, but I want to say it here. So you all, most of you sitting down, that's good. Be steady. If you're standing up, kind of hold on to your neighbor. I believe in science. Yeah. I believe in strong, good, independent science, the kind of investigation that asks hard questions and goes wherever the data lead. And that is true on climate science, it is true on medical science, it is true on behavioral science, it is true on chemical science, it is true on scientific research and scientific discovery of every kind. I want to start by saying a very special thank you to Northeastern. Thank you for your commitment to build this remarkable new building and research facility. This building is a testament to the university's commitment to interdisciplinary research, to experiential learning, and to the kind of work that strengthens our city, that strengthens our Commonwealth, that strengthens our country, and that truly strengthens our world. There are a lot of reasons to support investment in science, but I'm going to mention two, just two. The first one is economic. Last year, we spent $259 billion taking care of people with Alzheimer's, and we cannot offer them one day in the delay or progress of that disease. So, how much money did the National Science Foundation spend last year in research to fight back against Alzheimer's? The answer is less than 0.5% of that amount. Now, the reason is not because the NIH doesn't want to spend the money. The reason is because Congress will not give NIH the money that it needs to fight this terrible disease. Alzheimer's alone, over time, with an aging population will bankrupt our healthcare system if we don't find a cure. And then layer on top of that everything else: diabetes, heart disease, cancer. Look at all the things that happen to us. Traumatic brain injuries and ALS. Add the other problems that we face: climate change, warming oceans, power storage, how massive these problems are, and how little we are spending to deal with these problems that we face. It is staggeringly stupid not to invest in research. When this administration calls for 20% cuts to funding basic research, when they want to cut $1 billion out of this year's research expenditures, they are saying loud and clear that they don't know how to build a strong future for this country. They are saying, let's warm up short-term profits by burning down our children's future. I am here to say that anyone who cares about the future will fight back. That's why we go to Washington, is to fight back. Okay, we're here to celebrate. I'm going to get back in the zone. But I mean, really, people, we got to talk about this. This is a serious threat. I want to make a second point, though, about why we support research. And that is to say, we support it because it is part of our belief in the future. We fund investments in science precisely because we don't know what many of them will produce. But we believe. We believe in the power of ideas. We believe in the power of learning more. We believe in the power of a giant pipeline of ideas to which we will contribute, and generations to come will build a world that today we can only dream about. We cannot let anyone take that dream away from us. So I am so happy to start my week, to start my day with people who believe in science, people who believe in investing in the future. And I am delighted to have the chance to introduce the man who had the vision, who had the determination to turn this space into truly a temple of our future. Thank you, President Aoun. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you. It's not easy to come after you as Speaker. So I'm going to have a small break here. You can wander around and then come back. But actually, today we're celebrating the official birthday of this building. But also, we have another big celebration. We have a young man here with us who's going to celebrate a big birthday this week, Mayor Walsh. So what I want you to do all together, one word only: happy birthday, Mayor Walsh. So 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Mayor Walsh. I love it. He's blushing. That's good. That's the first time I see you blush in public. Slow down. Okay, so the mayor is asking me to slow down the aging process. As a matter of fact, some people are working on that as we speak. Well, thank you all for being here today. And I want to thank you, Mayor Walsh, Senator. Thank you. You know, as usual, you have been a great champion for science, and we are very grateful to you. Senator Markey, from energy to science, you have been with us every single step. I want to thank you for that. And Congressman Kennedy, you know, this is a home for you. You know that you have been supportive, you have been with us, and whatever we can do even at Fall River, as we mentioned this morning, we will be there with you. You want to focus on entrepreneurship there. We're very strong in entrepreneurship, and our army of students will be there with you. So thank you. Our elected officials, thank you for being here today. This here, it's not my vision. It's the vision of scores and scores of people who worked on it, members of this community, faculty, staff, administrators, trustees. They all came together. And we wanted a statement. Our first statement is that we wanted it in Roxbury. We didn't want it elsewhere. And we wanted this building to be open to the community in Roxbury and to the future students who are going to be in our labs. The Kennedy School is here with us. I want to thank them. Yes, let's give them a big round of applause. Some of you told me that you want to be here. You want to be here as students. One day you'll be here as faculty, but I don't want you to be here as presidents. The statement that also we're doing is that, yes, we believe in user-inspired research, research that has an impact. But as you heard, we don't know when we start working which impact we will have. And failure is going to be part of what we do in this place. Because failure is going to be energizing us to start in new domains, to look at new opportunities, and also to make a statement of confidence about us as a nation. I travel a lot. We collaborate, we partner, but also we compete with the rest of the world. China is building an enormous infrastructure in research. They are luring back many faculty, not only of Chinese origin, but faculty who are from all over the world, from US universities. Why? Because they are offering them opportunities, and people are saying, will we be able to get these opportunities here? And that's why we are here today to reaffirm that this community, this city, this Commonwealth, and this nation are going to offer opportunities and will continue to offer opportunities. We take a long-term view. The university is going to be here for hundreds and hundreds of years. Therefore, what you are seeing today is a continuation that was started years ago. Some people tell me, is Northeastern changing? And the answer is yes. Northeastern has changed dramatically, but it's very, very true to its roots. That's why we wanted it here. That's why our students are becoming elected officials. The Torch Scholars that start here are becoming elected officials. Our roots are here and will always remain here. Some of you have commented about this building, that this building is magnificent. I mentioned that scores of people worked on it, but I want to single out one person, Provost Director, Provost Emeritus Director. Steve is here. You see this spiral staircase? That's his baby. Do you know what we call it? Steve's Spiral. So Steve, thank you very much for what you have done. In 1978, I came to this country as an immigrant. I came to this country as a student. my goal was to go back to France. I was born in Lebanon, studied there, went to France to study. My wife was here, was waiting for me. She said, I don't want to have a student life. When you finish, come back. I never went back. And, my colleagues, my friends at the university convinced her to immigrate, and we did. This is our home. I have to tell you that from day one, no one among the faculty, the students, the staff, the community said, where are you from? English was my third language. That was my most difficult language. I barely spoke English because I only wrote it. They took me under their wings. They nurtured me. And from day one, they said, we don't care where you are from. We only care about what you can do here. And our role is to give you opportunities, to give you possibilities. There was no notion of a faculty or a student. There was a notion of a community. There was a notion of a community completely free to think, to wonder, to fail, to create, to innovate. That's my personal story. And this is what we are hoping, what we are seeking to continue for years and years to come. This country has been built on an open system, bringing all the best brains in the world. And I'm not one of them, Congressman Markey, Senator Markey. To stay here, to work here, to make it their home, and also to give back. That's unique. I don't know of any nation in the world that has that. And we're going to continue this. And that's why we are here today, and that's why it is my honor to introduce another immigrant, Dr. Cordova. Yes, give her a big round of applause. A great scientist, a great leader, and she realized that being a college president is tough, so she went to a tougher job, director of the National Science Foundation. We're honored to have Dr. Cordova.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much, President Aoun, for that lovely introduction and for inviting me to participate in the opening of this extraordinary facility, the Interdisciplinary Science and Engineering Complex. I was thinking during your remarks that when you came, the year that you came to the States was the year that I came to Boston to run in the famous marathon. And when I think back to that experience, I think that what I enjoyed most about it, because there was lots to not enjoy, was the company of people that also, like me, decided that we would pick a pace that we could finish. And it's having that persistence of vision that you know that you can make it to the finish line. If you pick your pace and you just go for it, and you're with a lot of people that feel the same way. I think that characterizes an endeavor like this, that the persistence of vision of students and the faculty, the administration, in just ensuring that we're going to go the full miles every step of the way, and we're going to make it, we're going to get there. And you have achieved something absolutely spectacular, and the marathon's not finished. It's a great honor, Mr. Mayor and Senators Warren and Markey and Congressman Kennedy, to share this moment with you all. I've had the pleasure of meeting many of you in Washington, and it's just a delight that you're here today. I'm also pleased to see that Dr. Diane Souvain, who's Vice Chair of the National Science Board, NSF's National Science Board, is with us for this important event. And Diane, where are you? Will you be recognized here? Thank you. In this magnificent atrium with light streaming in from all sides, I'm reminded of what Winston Churchill, who was fascinated with architecture, once said: "We shape our buildings, and afterwards our buildings shape us." That observation is reflected in the innovative, forward-looking design that demonstrates Northeastern's global leadership in youth-inspired interdisciplinary research. As President Aoun has said, the new complex will be a hub of scholarship and teaching that will significantly advance Northeastern's mission as a youth-inspired research university. On behalf of the National Science Foundation, America's premier research agency for all the basic sciences and engineering, we warmly welcome this new facility to the nation's growing ecosystem of technological incubators. The ISAC complex will put into practice the concept of convergence, which can be characterized as the deep integration of knowledge, technique, and expertise from multiple fields to form new and expanded frameworks for addressing scientific and societal challenges and opportunities. Convergence merges strengths of different disciplines, different thinkers, to create something unique, something more resilient. It's such an important and dynamic concept that when NSF senior leaders recently developed the 10 big ideas that are at the forefront of science and engineering, we cited convergence as one of those big ideas. It's interdisciplinary research in action. And we're now in the process of releasing a Dear Colleague letter. I think it was issued this Friday and is going to go out today to be timed with this event, that focuses on convergence and offers research funding for this endeavor. And it says that convergence has two primary characteristics. One is the deep integration across disciplines where new frameworks, paradigms, or disciplines can form from sustained interactions across multiple communities. And second, it is research driven by a specific and compelling problem that is generally inspired by the need to address a specific challenge or opportunity, whether it arises from deep scientific questions or pressing societal needs. These two descriptors clearly reflect the concept behind this complex. NSF is calling on the scientific community to use this approach in addressing grand research challenges, thus putting Northeastern University well ahead of the curve. As you know, NSF has long played a critical role in promoting U.S. leadership in science and engineering, creating innovations that drive the nation's economy and educating the next generation of scientists and engineers. And Jacqueline, your speech was just perfectly embodied what is the other half, the essential half that marries research, the educational half, the STEM education concept of the National Science Foundation. And you're having a graduate research fellowship is just tremendous. I don't know how many of you in the audience know just how tough it is to get that kind of a fellowship. Like Northeastern, NSF sees great merit in breaking down barriers between disciplines and expanding the opportunities for interactions among researchers. And as I was standing up there before everybody gathered, and I was looking at all the windows, see all the glass around here, I thought, this is the true definition of transparency, right, folks? Everybody can see what everyone else is doing. NSF recently announced a new partnership with Northeastern and US Ignite called Platforms for Advanced Wireless Research that will manage nearly $100 million in public and private investments over the next 7 years to deploy city-scale wireless research platforms. And I know, Mr. Mayor, that that's one of your main enthusiasms, and you talk a lot about that. This innovative partnership will enable use-inspired fundamental research and sustain U.S. leadership and economic competitiveness in wireless communications and technology. We're all anxious to see what's beyond 4G. We believe that the great challenges of our time, challenges like harnessing big data, ensuring access to clean water and clean energy, managing a technology-embedded society, one that, by the way, we cannot do without our social and behavioral scientists, will not be solved by any one discipline alone. They'll require the expertise of an array of disciplines, a diverse group of passionate people. They'll require us to work together in innovative ways and to listen and learn from each other. They'll require an interdisciplinary environment like this complex. And that's why we're so focused on the concept of convergence, which is an intentional coming together of disciplines to attack big challenges. Educational institutions that promote collaboration and convergence will strengthen students' knowledge and potential in the global competitive marketplace. And it is global, and it is very, very competitive. And I agree with some of the previous speakers in talking about just how amazing it is that other countries are just putting so much of an investment into science and technologies. We just cannot afford to not continue our marathon, to stop in place, to give up. Our convergence efforts have benefited from multiple partnerships with educational institutions and with the private sector. We're very proud of our industry and university collaborative research centers, which are leveraged by a factor of 10, and that's 10 from the industry side through their participation. So I want to close on a personal note. It's been precisely 3 years, just about to the day, since I was sworn in as the 14th NSF director. I spent much of the last 3 years meeting with elected officials in Congress and other government officials among our distinguished agencies. I've met with scientists, researchers, administrators, educators, and many, many students in this country and abroad. And I've come away with an even deeper appreciation of the interests and the talents of everyone in the science, engineering, and educational ecosystem, and their commitment to science and technology as being responsible for all those amazing things that we take for granted now and that certainly lead the way into the future. As I testified last year before the House Science Committee, more than ever, the future prosperity and well-being of Americans depends on sustained investments in our science and technology. It requires a persistence of vision. This is an exciting and a challenging time for science. It's a time to nurture a mutually supportive environment that will empower scientists and engineers and researchers everywhere, both as individuals and in teams, to search for new knowledge, to continue that search, and to create the new tools that are needed for future discovery. And I imagine much of that will be done right here. For nearly 7 decades, the National Science Foundation has empowered discovery across a tremendous spectrum of scientific inquiry, and we never lose sight of our commitment to explore the unexplored. I am confident that Northeastern's interdisciplinary science and engineering complex and NSF will be vibrant partners in that effort. Thank you again for the opportunity to join you in this celebration, and congratulations.
Could the speakers please join us for the ribbon cutting? Please stay in.
Oh my God. Let me recognize also the team from Payette, Bob Schaffner and Kevin Sullivan. They did a great job here, so we want to thank you.
Thank you.
And I would like to ask now the trustees also to join me here. The trustees and emeriti trustees to join us here to the podium, including you, Carol. Don't look at me like that.
You got it? We can do this.
Where is Dee? I'm looking for Dee.
She's right behind you.
Dee, what are you doing behind me? Okay.
Okay.
Back to Cordova, please.
Another one right here.
Please.
Are we ready?
Okay, I'll come.
go on the other side.
No, I'll share one with you and the mayor.
Beautiful.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Oh, with you.
There we go.
That's fine.
All right.
I'll hold you, Cut. Get the picture first.
So go ahead.
Ready? Are we going to do this? Is everyone ready? Say when.
Now. It's great.